Hello and welcome to History 2010, the internet sections for the fall of 2025. This is the United States to 1865, and I am the professor for the class. My name is Dr. James MacDonald, and in what I promise will be a short introduction, we're going to talk a little bit about the course expectations. We're going to look at the Moodle shell, which is in front of us right now, and discuss the course policies, expectations going forward. So welcome to the class. You can see the first block has some general information. We'll be able to find an electronic link to the book, which we'll discuss in a second, and some of the other required university policies, including the rubric or expectations on the discussion boards, which are part of your class grade. So here we have essentially the Moodle shell of the course, and this is where you'll be operating and getting your work done. I will have the syllabus open as well, and so we will be able to take a look at that. I'll pull it up right now. My general rule is keep it simple as far as the syllabus goes. So you can see my information is there. I am located in Kaiser Hall, 347C. I'm usually there Monday, Wednesday, and Friday before my 11 o'clock class, but I'm guessing that most of you will elect to contact me through email. My email is MAC, that's spell my name right, MacDonaldJ at nsula.edu. I'm going to ask that you write the section number in all of your emails to me, depending on what 2010 section you are in. So this intro video is going to apply to multiple 2010 sections. Some of the specific work assignments you'll just have to follow on your syllabus, the Moodle shell, as far as links to your different discussion boards may be different as well. But again, this is going to apply to the different 2010 sections. So obviously, by me saying that, you can tell I've got a few of them. And I also have a face-to-face class, and I also have an A-term of 2010. So that's 5 different 2010 sections. So if you put I'm in history, I'm like, great, which one? And you say 2010, and I say, great, which one? So put your section number in, section 2, section 3, dual enrollment, A-term. Please put that in the very little used subject line. It's a good way to get your email answered. If you do not follow this request, if you do not put your section number in the email, there's no guarantee that I will answer the email. And you'll want me to answer your email if you, for some reason, need to make up some kind of assignment for an excused absence, for an exam, or anything else, or a way to contact me. I don't like wasting my own time looking at the roll to see which class you are in. And so do me a favor and follow that request. And I would just say, general rule, just do it for all your different sections of your different classes. It's going to go a long way to make your professor be grateful. So our book is the Tyndall and Shy. That's what it used to be called, a couple of the authors. But generally, Dr. Shy is the main author now. It is America, A Narrative History. We are introducing this semester the brief 13th edition. So it got updated, and all of the different sections of the chapters, including the test bank and study guide, got updated as well. So we're going pretty quickly. We've got, from the colonies and exploration up to the end of the American Civil War, all in 16 weeks. So it's pretty rapid pace, but again, very manageable, as you'll see when you look at the Moodle shell and then the syllabus as well. So you have to keep up with the readings. They are required. And from the readings, we get the study questions that are from the test bank that I put together. So when we look at the grading for the class, we have 4 exams, and together they account for 75% of your grade. They are non-comprehensive, meaning they don't build upon the other one, meaning at the end of the semester, you won't have to go back and look at things for the beginning of the semester, which I'm sure you'll be happy to find out. The exams are 50 multiple choice questions, and those exam questions for the exam come from the study guide, which I post ahead of each exam. So a given exam might cover 3 to 4 chapters in the textbook, and you're going to be reading those chapters and you're going to be working on a study guide. The exams are not proctored, but they are timed, meaning they have a clock once you start them, and they are open for a given period of time. For the most part, from Friday to Sunday, Friday morning until Sunday evening. That gives you essentially 3 full days to complete the exam. So out of these 4 exams, we dropped the lowest grade. So it's your 3 best exams. The other 25% of your grade come from discussions. And there will be 4 discussions in the course of the semester. They're each worth 25 points. So this is, again, 1/4 of your grade. They are due on Friday at the end of the day. They come from either a viewing of a short film. I like to use the crash course, World History and U.S. History. And then you will answer in 150 words or more the question that's put there in that given week. So I want you to take the discussions seriously. There are 4 of them. I also have at the top of, going into the wrong section here. We'll go back to Moodle. So at the top here of the introduction, you see that there is a statement on AI. Not too long ago, we were worried about plagiarizing, where folks just, copied and pasted stuff off internet sites, web pages. Now we've got the whole artificial intelligence. So I'm just going to give you just a gentle kind of public service announcement, you might call it, that using AI, no, look, if you are told to use AI in certain classes, great. In this one, don't. So when we get to the discussions and you answer it, I want it to be in your own words, not AI generated, and there are ways to check it, not taken off the internet. 150 words is easy, very straightforward. And let's just kind of fast forward to the second week. You can see that you've got the material for that discussion right there. It's a crash course video on the Black legend in the colonial times. And then you've got the discussion to answer here. So there are requirements for the discussion board as far as what I look when we grade them. So the first is it has to be 150 words in your own words. It has to be clearly written. In other words, anything like a glorified text message where you don't add any capitalization, punctuation, sentence structure. Take it seriously, in other words. This is the writing element of the course. And it makes up 25% of your grade. Now, if I spend a little time in the discussions, it's because I see this every semester. Students do the exams and either neglect by not doing them well, or some students, believe it or not, don't do the discussions. And then I find they have the realization at the end of the semester, oh no! And they go through what I call the discussion dump, where they very quickly attempt to answer all of them at the end of the semester. That is not allowed. The syllabus clearly states that after the 4th day, and I will start grading them down for late submissions, the discussions will not be accepted. So if it's due Friday and you think you can turn it in the following Friday, that's not going to happen. So again, please take these seriously. These help, folks. If your exam average is, so-so, maybe not as high as you'd like it, if you complete all of the discussions well, it's like a free test grade, right? Because you're getting like 100 averaged into your test grades. At the same time, I've seen students finish with an A exam average and complete none of the discussions, and you drop 1 or 2 letter grades for your overall class average. So complete them on time. They tell you when to do them on the syllabus and also in Moodle itself. That's where obviously you go to complete the discussions. All right, all exams go through Moodle. I mentioned before, not proctored, but you need a good internet connection. If you complete them after the time, you can't because it is open from Friday to Monday or Sunday. So if you miss the test, you miss the test. I mean, unless there is some kind of university recognized excuse, you are responsible for keeping up with the exams, not your Moodle calendar or however else you keep track or think you keep track of the exams. You need to look at the Moodle shell. You need to look at the syllabus. If you have any questions or concerns, obviously you can email me. I don't keep the same hours that all of you do, being older and all that. But I will try to get back to you as quickly as possible. The university has, and sometimes you see them. Let me see, back to the internets. Okay. University policies are right here, and you can read those. I've attached them into the Moodle shell. Sometimes you'll see them in the syllabus, but you can take a look at those, and they have any information and links if you need them. All right. So we talked about most of the things in that first section. Week 1. Here's the study guide. Let me pull it up for you and let you get oriented with it. So you've got an exam, week 4, but up to that point, you're going to be reading the textbook. Here's chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, 50 study guide questions because there will be 50 test questions. Again, very straightforward. This class is designed for you to succeed. Week 2, you have a discussion. And what I also did is put a couple other extra kind of resources. The chapter 2 outline is just a generalized outline of some big subjects as you go through each section of the textbook. And in week 2, you have a discussion due. So it's due 29th. That's the second Friday in the semester. This is where you watch the video, and this is where you complete. You just click on here and just add, and it's a Q&A form. You are not required to comment on your fellow students. You are just required to answer completely and with all the other expectations I had. So because the class is based on a book, we're going to click right here. And this may look a little different when you all go to do it. But when you click on this, you should see a login. If you don't have one, you need to establish one. So you will need to establish a login for this textbook. Okay, I've already done it. So once you do that, you're all set to go. And pretty much it's that straightforward. So we're going to close that. And all the book chapters will be there for you to read. Let's go back to the syllabus as we finish up here. So that's all the required info. You can see right here that we discussed expectations and such. Here's the class schedule. So you've got 2 ways to see what you have to complete. You've got it in Moodle. You've got it on the syllabus. Week 2, discussion 1. Exam 1 is in week 4. There it is, the 8th to the 12th. And at the end of the week, Friday to Sunday, you've got the exam due. So here is the whole semester laid out in 1 1/3 pages. Again, I keep it simple. This course is designed for those who are non-history majors, non-interested in history people, which is fine. You took the class for your own reasons, and I do hope you enjoy it. And so going forward, this is always going to be there in Moodle. This is where you see the whole semester. Now, the semester itself is not going to be a free-for-all. I'm going to open 1 week at a time. So week 1 will be open, and then when we get to Sunday of week 2, I'll open that as well, and you can get started on the work that way. And so the first week has your study guide, and that's going to get you through the first 3 weeks because you're reading the first 3 chapters. Then you get to week 4, and you've got exam 1. So you can't click on exam 1 on Monday of that week. It opens Friday. It's timed, all of that. So if you have any questions or any concerns about this class, please do not hesitate to contact me. I wish you a good fall semester and a great deal of success in History 2010.